Hi, welcome to another episode of Optimising RPG. Today we're going to look at the second score point in Great Place, which is called Out of the Prison. Now, this score point, there's a lot more to it than the first one. It's no longer a linear gauntlet. There are real choices to make throughout most of the next two levels, which it will take part in. I did say last episode, I wasn't sure if going forward we would need to open this door. We do not, which is good because it's a pretty bad door. So let's just move straight on. And straight from the beginning, you will see that this level is much more complicated. There is no percentage damage, so we can go straight ahead and pick that up. We're just going to open this door here just to show you this room. Which is definitely worth opening. I mean, there's at least 3 yellow keys in this room, right? So it's straight up better than not opening the yellow door. So this room, there's a lot of damage to take. These big roaches strike you like goblins, so they're a lot like the touch wings in the previous level. And the eyes hit you as well. This brain will lock off if this actually disappeared anytime soon. There we go, it locks off an attack, so we really want to collect this before we kill this. This is of course terrible, going through 3 yellow doors, especially when you consider that the other way is basically free, except all it does going the other way is lock off this attack and this key. So we're going to want to pick up both of these before we kill the brain. These are quite tough monsters, but I'm sure we can do it. Unfortunately, you do have to hit this eye as well, and this one, unless we kill them from the back. Killing them from the front locks the way off. But they are free if stabbed from the front or back, I think, now. Yes, they are. So this is more about kill the Deathwing. There's an attack here for this one. He does not do that much damage, and it's going to be a little while until this one is any cheaper. Now it does help to know how much attack is in the level, and I believe that we will get up to, I think it is 89 attack is the maximum that we leave with. Yes, it's just as soon as the rock golems become free. So there is 20 attack in this level, and this Deathwing, we can save 100, but only when we've picked up most of the attack. So this one seems like a reasonable candidate to get first, just because this monster is fairly weak, and it's going to take a long time for him to get cheaper. There's a big roach here who needs only 8 attack and is blocking the way to the next room. That seems like it might be achievable, so we want to head off. He's only gating access to here, which has Mad Eyes and Rock Golems. The Rock Golems, because we're just above the defense, are doing quite a lot, so we're going to want a bunch of attack before we kill them. And the Mad Eye can possibly get reduced. We're going to need 6 gems. So if we need 4 gems to make it cheaper to get into this room and 6 gems to make the Mad Eyes cheaper, maybe it's worth leaving this until we can do that with the Mad Eyes. Now for this room here, the Touch Wings need 1 more gem, and they're going to get cheaper. And once they do get cheaper, because they have quite a lot of health, and they will be on their final attack checkpoint, like that will be the cheapest that they get. This brain here locks off access to all of these goodies, which means that we absolutely don't want to kill the brain because there's just a huge amount of stuff here, like the yellow keys particularly. So we are going to kill this guy at least brained, and we can reassess for these guys later on. And where else can we go for now? And to get through this room here, we either need to kill a brained Mad Eye, open a door for now. If we kill the brain, we lose the attack. We don't want to do that. Question is, would you open a yellow door? This orb avoids us having to spend a key here at the cost of killing 1 brained Mad Eye. Now, the brained Mad Eye is already cheaper, than opening a door, if you consider that a door is equivalent to 400 HP in score. In terms of getting enough attack, I don't think there actually is enough attack. What is there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If we picked up all of this attack, we would be able to make this guy cheaper before crossing through here. However, that also involves like killing Mad Eyes to get one of them, possibly this one as well, and definitely these ones. So that seems very, very unlikely. So we should kill him, but it is still cheaper to get this attack first. So that's what I'm going to do. And it wasn't obvious, but actually there is additional health underneath these eyes. I hate it when people hide stuff underneath the monsters, but in this room there is extra health. So I've gone for this guy first just because there was not really that much damage to save compared to the other monsters, and it was going to take a while. So that's why the Deathwing seemed like a good first monster. Now in this room here, like I said, the Touchwing, we are not going to reach his next attack checkpoint. There is no defense in this level, so now seems like a good idea to kill this now. That is free. And we're going to come back, but already you can see we're starting to make big dents on the Rock Golem. We've knocked down like 600 HP off of his expected damage. So we're going to come back to this one later. Again, no reason to kill this guy just yet. Something that is important is what is through here. Well, down in this room here, we have an attack gem for 40 Greckles, which we now have because of those monsters that we killed earlier. So this way looks very appealing. There's just the Mad Eye in the way that we're probably going to kill anyway. There's another attack gem here behind a Rock Golem. And then there's this room with these incredibly dangerous soulless that we will drop very significant amounts of damage if we manage to reach attack checkpoints. I believe they are the highest attack monster in this level. So this is a room we're going to come to later. It's going to be quite late, most likely. Anyway, I'm going to go this way because this gives us 2 attack, and then there's another set of attack in this room down here for money. I will just show you here for the connections. You can walk past the Soulless and get the blue key, but if you do that without killing them, it locks your way back in. If you do kill both of them, you get all of these goodies, and that's something that we definitely want to do. So we're definitely going to be coming back here much later. In the meantime, let's go for the easy attack. And we will kill them just to get more Greckles. Now, we have already dropped the Rock Golems to almost some of the cheapest that they will be. If we can get 2 more attack gems, we save 90 on this guy, and then we will need every other attack gem in the level to save another 90. So these guys are pretty close, and they certainly save more waiting for the Rock Golem than we do for, say, the Big Roach, who only needs 1 more attack gem to be cheaper. In terms of what our next attack gem is going to be, though, let's assess. So if we get 2 more, we can save 90 from this one, and we do need to collect this to make Rock Golems free. So this will be the cheapest that it gets if we can get 2 more attack gems. These guys here, we can save that, and it's quite a lot to save. Also, we kind of want to kill them on the way in, and we haven't got anywhere nearly enough health, so we're just going to ignore that room for now. There's an attack gem here if we kill these brained big roaches. However, they only need 2 more attack to save about 100, which seems quite good, so we can probably get that, so we're just going to leave that for now. Again, this guy, 45 cheaper if we manage to get 2 more attack, but he leads us into this room where Again, there are Mad Eyes that are costing like 85 per hit that we can save if we can get 3 more gems, and like another rock golem in the way of one of them. So going that route is not so great right now. And on this path up here, there is like a brained Mad Eye or a brained rock golem that are again dealing quite a lot of damage, and we are again pretty close to their attack checkpoints, so these guys aren't looking good either. So unfortunately there are no very easy options to take. However, there was one option where the future savings was lower than all of the others, and that is actually this one of these rock golems who are only giving us saving us 90. That was lower than any of the other ones that were available in the level, and everything else was fairly close to an attack checkpoint. So we're actually going to go for this one here. When you are in this situation where you have to make a decision and kill someone, the one who is going to save you the least amount in the short term is the one that, delaying him for a bit longer is going to save you less, is what you should go for. So we are going to go for that guy. This gives us enough money to pick up this health, which we're going to need. So there we go. Now we have made the big roaches cheaper. So if you remember, there are some big roaches to kill in this room. They're not getting any cheaper in this level, so these guys are a good candidate to kill now. You may notice there are 3 of them. Killing all 3 of them costs 600 health. However, if you remember that these guys only attack like goblins, we actually don't have to kill that last one. We can ignore him completely and save 200 HP, which is pretty good. This is the only way. If we'd saved the middle one, we wouldn't really be able to step around him without getting hit by him. It's only the end one that we can avoid, so that's what we're going to do. This Deathwing, he's not earning us any attack or health. We don't need either of those, so we can come back to him when he's cheaper. I will just pick this up while I'm here, because I've got a bunch of money. This roach is cheaper now, and as you can see, this is the cheapest that this guy's going to get. So I am just going to go down and unlock this room now. Unfortunately, we are very, very close to making the Mad Eye cheaper. We should be able to pick up another attack gem before having to take on this room. So is there another attack gem to take? Well, there is this one in this room. This rock golem, this is the cheapest he's going to be. This Mad Eye could be cheaper if we waited. Killing the Mad Eye would cost 180 versus 190 for the rock golem. It's not really worth saving. If we wait, we save 10 HP. But if we get this attack, we save quite a lot in the next room, certainly more than 10 HP. And if we take a look, these are blocked by Mad Eyes. These are blocked by Mad Eyes. This is only really blocked by the brained rock golem. And this one up here is blocked by these soulless, who are also very expensive. So that means that this one is actually the cheapest and sort of isn't really going down very much in the future. Should we spend this and kill the brain, we lock our way out of 200 health, but it only costs us 190 to kill him brained. And in fact, it's going to cost us 90. So if he's unbrained, so killing the brain saves us 100, but locks our way out of 200 health. So clearly we just want to take the golem on brained. This now means that the Mad Eyes have become cheaper, so we can now do things like kill them for free from behind. We never need to take on this big roach here, and if we remember, he attacks like a goblin, we can avoid getting hit. There are some eyes in this room that can be killed for free from behind, and the Mad Eyes are now cheaper than the touch wings, so to get this one here, clearly we would rather take the top route. So this rock golem cannot be made cheaper because his next attack checkpoint requires this gem. Similarly, the Mad Eye can't be made cheaper, so this is as cheap as it's ever going to be, so we might as well pick it up now. The fact you cannot backtrack between levels lets us make these sorts of decisions in this hold. We know that, you know, these monsters are not getting any cheaper. I do believe we have happened to just hit the attack checkpoint for the Deathwing that makes him free. That's great. So we're going to do that and avoid taking damage by stepping in front of that eye. Now we do need to collect this before we're going to go up and kill the brain. So what's the cheapest way we can do this? Well, if we kill that eye and then step around this one and kill the top one, we can stab this guy for free. And that means we only have to take 2 hits from eyes instead of 3. So sort of like how we saved fighting a monster here, we can save actually getting some damage from that one. And we can pick up this health if we hold our sword correctly without getting attacked by this guy. Now we have all of the attack except for the ones behind the Soulless, but just before we take them on, there is a little bit of health left here. You'll note there is actually a key under this big roach, but we are going to come back later when we've got all of the attack. So this is the most that we can reach the Soulless with in terms of health. It's a little bit unfortunate because these guys deal 510 damage and we are 2 hit points, just 2, off of being able to survive killing both of these Soulless. Now I cannot find a way to save that 2 HP. If you manage to do it, you will actually save a whopping 170 health, because we have 509 instead of 511, we have to take a sword hit and then come back and kill this guy. So if you manage to find a way to optimise to save 2 HP, you're actually going to save at least 172 by not taking an extra hit there, and that's an easy 4 or 5 additional score on this score point. But I have not been able to find a way to reach this with more HP. Bear in mind we did need to come to it with that attack. I think we could miss 1 attack, however, we needed all the health in this room here. And so there was really no other way to save HP. Actually, no, I think we did need all the attack. I can't really go back and see exactly when the attack checkpoint was, but I believe, yes, we needed all but 1, and it was like this one that's behind them that we couldn't get. With that attack, the rock golems are now free. Great. So we're just going to kill them, pick up all this stuff. Now we are at maximum attack, maximum stats, so we can just go ahead and pick up everything. I don't think there is anything left to pick up or any free golems to kill. There is not, so only to move on to the next level now. Open this blue door. Now, the way we get to the stairs, we've got a choice. We can certainly afford to take the money path, open this yellow door, and then this one, get all of this, and then kill these monsters from behind. Basically, get all of this free money, and pick up this health. The other way we can go is to go in this way, take a bunch of damage, potentially open this door or go this way, but all the monsters will be brained. Then pick this up and leave. Now that doesn't cost us having to open 2 yellow doors. So if the monsters are going to be dealing more than 800 difference in health, but most of these monsters are actually free. Sorry, I did skip through that fairly quickly, but you will notice that how much damage are we going to take? 310, 500, potentially nearly 1,000 if you include the grey man as well there. However, let's take a look and see if we go this route. So all these monsters are free except for him. Even the Mud Mother is free. The Grey Man is quite expensive, but these guys left, they cost 408 health, so it is actually cheaper to not bother killing them, take the brain, and walk through like that. Now, if you're unsure if that's cheaper or not, I mean, we did, essentially, we opened one yellow door instead of two. Even if the enemies, if we went the other way and we unbrained the enemies, the grey man is still going to be dealing, how much is it? It's quite a bit more. It is still a couple of hundred health, so I'm just trying to remember how much attack he had. I think he does 75 times 3, which is 225 still. So actually we're only saving like 200, and these monsters, the touchwing, the big roach, and the mud baby, they're still going to be dealing some damage. So we certainly don't save as much as you might originally think by killing the brain. And in the end, you can just try both paths and see which one gives you the most score, but actually going this path is better for our score. Like, the health that we lose is not as valuable as the keys that we save. So here, 50, 90, 94, so you're already looking at like 300, 400. So we include the grey man as well, so it's definitely cheaper to go the gauntlet route. It gives us these stats moving into the next level, and the next level is the last one on this checkpoint. So let's just go ahead. Now this level here is particularly complicated, but there is one major boost in this level, which we're going to see as we go through it. This is interesting. We have 10 yellow keys spare. There are these yellow doors with freebies behind them. I mean, we'll just take them now because we got a ton of keys. 400 health in here is exactly equivalent to a yellow door, so it sort of doesn't really matter if we take this or not. If we need the health, this is certainly the first place to come to, but we have no need to take it right now, and who knows how many keys we're going to be spending, so let's just carry on. This death wing is also free, by the way, so we might as well kill him. Killing this brain locks out the power gem here, so we're going to leave him for now. We're going to keep on making these freebie choices while they exist. Remember, money is worth nothing, so we're going to do that. Do we want to open this green door? Well, it opens this path here, which is necessary, that we're going to need to do. So yeah, we might as well open it. We got a free green key now. I can tell you now that this is the only green key we will be spending in the level. If you're not sure, you don't have to take this now, but just to save us time, I'm going to open it. Again, it's giving us stats without actually having to kill any monsters. So here's the big deal in this level. This is our first defense pickup in this hold. 30 extra defense, that's quite good. Normally, equipment's really, really good, and you want to rush for it as soon as possible. So we need to assess just how soon we want to get this defense. Now, what makes this particularly interesting, I think, is that there are a lot of monsters in this level that we will get down to only really giving us like 1 or 2 hits. Meanwhile, this boss monster, 340 damage per attack. That is because there is a brain in the room up here. He deals a lot, and when you consider that it means that, you know, the 30 defense that is behind him, you would have to be hit 12 times to make up for taking an extra hit from the boss. Also because he has a load of health and quite high defense, like gaining attack is rapidly going to start diminishing his attack. So what we really need to do is we need to ask ourselves, okay, can we hit his next attack checkpoint before being hit by monsters 12 times? And as long as the answer to that is yes, we actually don't want to collect the shield and knock down his health. Not get more attack and knock down his number of attacks. Other things in this room, when we collect this shield, it opens this door that lets us pick this up, And this one, funnily enough, also opens all of these doors as well. So if we can collect this shield, we open our way to this outer area that's got more attack in it. In fact, there are 4 attack gems that are essentially gated by getting the shield. In addition, if we kill the brain, we lock out access to these. Now, the brain is also locked behind these doors that we want to open anyway after we've got the shield. So that's telling us that really, killing the brain before the boss is really, really bad. So we shouldn't bother doing it. This grey man here, 40 attack for fast win. That is a lot of attack to hit his next attack checkpoint. When we have collected all of the attack in this level, our attack value will be 147. So 135, that essentially means that they will get cheaper when there is only 6 attack gems left in the level. And there's quite a lot of attack gems. But when you consider that he is gating this that we want to get before the shield, and this room has 5 attack gems in it that are essentially behind this guy, that would mean picking up every other gem in the level except 1 to make him cheaper before getting the shield. And that seems very unlikely. The shield is quite strong. Are we really going to wait until the last minute before we kill this guy? It seems like it's a fairly good odds that actually we just want to kill this guy now instead of waiting for the next attack checkpoint, especially because he is we want to kill him first before getting the shield. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now. It feels intuitively good, and I can tell you that it actually is correct, but that's the decision of why we might want to go for that attack soon. In reality, you would probably continue exploring the rest of the level first and seeing if there's other attack that you can pick up for free and do all of that, but for now, while we're in the room, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. There is a brain to kill in this room that can make everything cheaper. Everything here is gated behind various monsters. Some of these monsters are quite dangerous. We certainly want to go for the brain first if we do. However, let's leave this one till a bit later, shall we? Here's another decision similar to the last one. So there is another brained grey man who is locking access to at least 1 attack. However, the other grey man was also locking access to the shield, so I won't jump into this decision like I did the other one. We can collect this health now, so let's just do that. Further on our explorations, this big roach that is in front of the brain is getting fairly close to being cheaper. Once we kill this brain, it opens these doors, and one of these doors opens our way to this mysterious central path that we've not really looked too closely at yet. So that's something that we're going to want to do at some point. Similarly, it opens access to here, which gets us another attack behind these mad eyes. This one's pretty bad. We don't want to press it until we've got this. And we also, going in this way, means that you don't get this health either. So this is ridiculously expensive. A green door and health. But, this guy is quite expensive, but that's because he's brained. So let's just move on. Here's some essentially free attack. Because of the way these doors are laid out, we can't do any door walking tricks to make it cheaper. So we're just going to go ahead, and because we have such a ridiculous glut of keys, we're just going to gather that now. There's a brained touch wing here that's guarding this attack. If we kill this brain, it does lock access to these, which is quite sad. So we don't want to do that. This guy here is still ridiculously expensive. He's getting cheaper fast. However, this guy is not going to get cheaper except for the shield. But we only get hit once to gain some attack. And looking at the boss, we need 3 more gems, and if we can collect 3 gems without getting hit 12 times, it is cheaper to get the attack first. Well, getting hit once to get 1/3 of the way there seems like a pretty good deal, like definitely on track. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Again, because this guy must be brained, because he's very expensive, and because I can tell you now that even if we picked up all of the attack, including this, he would still hit us 3 times. It's absolutely worth taking the door, because, you know, that's going to be at least 700 damage that we take from him, which, you know, you might as well just open the yellow door if it's going to save you that much. So that's another mostly free bunch of attack. We can kill the brain now. You'll notice I have ignored this. This is the end result of going through this mysterious central path. So if we kill a soulless and then we kill an ice wing, you'll notice that this ice wing says no enemy defense. Our defense value is useless against this guy, so actually if we collect the shield it won't make any difference at all against these ice wings. So that's worth keeping in mind. I can tell you now there are 4 ice wings on this path. In addition to that, there are some doors that we need to have opened, and each of these ice wing rooms also has a brain in it, that it would be nice to kill the brain. It certainly makes them a lot cheaper. In fact, because defense does not matter, it makes them exactly half of the cost, which is not true of other enemies. So doing all of that will get us 3 attack gems and a whole bunch of health. That seems pretty good. Of course, entirely possible it will get cheaper, and we haven't really finished looking at the level yet, so let's assess that a bit later. Here are more attack gems that is behind a touch wing. I think that is 1 attack to make this guy cheaper, so it's definitely worth taking, and the only way he's going to get any cheaper is with the shield. But, you know, collecting this saves us damage from the boss guarding the shield. So that's what we're going to do. Whether or not we want to kill this guy depends on our next attack checkpoint for this boss. So now this boss needs 4 gems. If we can collect 4 gems without getting hit 12 times, then we should do that. This guy here, certainly 1 hit for 1 gem, so he seems like a good candidate, but we'll need to wait and see if we can actually achieve that. Now this room here with the exit, we do need to eventually kill all of these to hit the pressure plates to get access to the key and the exit of the level. There is a brain you can kill if you open the door, however it also locks off all of this health, which means that the brain is absolutely terrible, right? Like, we certainly don't really want to kill that brain because it locks off so many goodies. This soulless deals outrageous damage because he's brained. It would be super great if we could hit that attack checkpoint, which potentially we could. So we're going to come back later to deal with this guy before we consider him. There's no attack in this level, however, each of these keys will get locked off if we kill the brain, which we'll want to do at some point potentially for this guy. But because there is no attack, we do not have to make that decision now. We can come back with the shield. Here is another roach, 1 hit, and we get the attack. We do want this attack to kill the brain, so it would be nice to get it before we take on this guy. Do we want to kill this brain here? Well, this brain locks access to this attack, but also this health, which means that if you consider that the yellow door is the equivalent of 400 health, it's actually going to cost us the equivalent of 800 health to kill this brain, which is really bad. Like, the monsters in this room, when you consider that one of the brains is going to go as soon as we get this health, like, this brain, like, really expensive to kill him. So we're probably not going to kill him, we're probably just going to leave him as he is. Anyway, we've currently discovered 2 attack that we can get for 2 hits, and they're not going to be made cheaper through gaining more attack. So is there any other attack that we can get? Well, here's another big roach that hits us once, and here's a mad eye that hits us once. These seem like good candidates. We would like to kill the brain first. If we kill the brain, we do get hit another time, but that is just taking 3 hits to get the last 2 attack that we need. which means that we can get 4 attack gems only being hit 5 times, and that beats our getting hit 12 times target. So therefore we are going to go ahead and collect these. So let's just pick them up. Might as well go in the order that I suggested. So now that we've gained that attack, we are also free to kill that brain, because he's not locking anything anymore. Also means that these guys are, substantially cheaper now. We will reassess this later. I've already made the assessment on the brain, because he was so expensive locking this stuff off. He's not going to save us 800 if we kill the brain, because it will halve the damage of these, and that doesn't come to 800. So this brain's going to stay up. Even if you considered the roach, obviously he would have locked access to the attack, so we wouldn't even have considered killing this until we'd already killed the roach. So he doesn't really factor into the equation as to whether or not we should deal with that. So we have decided that we are going to gain these and kill this brain. Now there's some door walking tricks here. Well done if you spotted them. We don't need to spend the keys at all. We might as well kill this guy. And because these touch wings act like goblins, sorry, are they death wings? Nope, they're touch wings. We can avoid getting hit by him completely. All of these monsters are now not brained, and they hardly do any damage, and these guys are only hitting us once. So we get to pick up this attack. And again, not really spending keys where unnecessary. One decision you might think is, well, hey, why did we go this way instead of going around this way here? Well, we couldn't actually get past this big roach without taking damage unless we killed him anyway. At that point, we realised that there's 2 ways in here, and each way involves opening, at least 1 yellow door. So we might as well just open this one and get the attack now. It's certainly more useful now than it is to go a long way around before we've actually got the shield. So that's sort of why we went for him. So let's reassess the boss again. He now needs 10 more attack gems without taking 12 hits if we're to make him cheaper. Well, because most of the attack gems are now in this room, this is starting to get a bit more difficult. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's actually still quite a lot. And then there's these here. And then there's this one. And there's this one. Yeah, I think that's it. So another problem with this shield, of course, is that we're going to get 4 more attack as soon as we pick it up as well. So we now need to not only factor in whether or not we're going to make the boss cheaper, we also need to factor in whether or not that 4 attack is useful. You'll notice this ice wing that doesn't care about our defense is getting pretty close to the attack threshold if we get another 4. And what about those grey men? Let's take a look at these monsters. So some of these not really getting much cheaper. The grey men at 20 attack, there's still a way to go. However, these guys are hitting us twice. If I wanted these 2 attack in here, I would be getting hit 8 times just to get 2 out of the 5. And that's pretty bad as far as our metric of not getting hit 12 times goes. If we want this one, we are going to get hit by this guy and both of these. And so that's another 3 hits to get 3 out of our 5 attack gems. And you can see right now that that's put us at 11. So unless we can collect 2 more gems, only getting hit once, that's not so great for us. We could consider, given that the ice wings are actually not going to reduce because of the getting the shield, because they ignore our defense, there is of course always the possibility that we go round this long route and we consider doing that to get 3 of the 5 attack gems that we need. We will be taking damage from this guy who does care about defense. So we do have to factor his attacks into the equation, but not these guys. However, we also do want to get the other 2 attack gems first. This one seems okay. It takes us 2 hits. That takes us 4 hits. But we also have to consider the fact that there are brains that we might want to kill. So there's a brain in this room. We also must press this pressure plate, so that adds another attack into the equation just to take this path. Does get rid of the brain and this. This room is fine as is. This room is a problem though. Killing this brain would be nice. We certainly don't want to kill the brain before we get the chance to collect these keys. So we do kind of want to get these keys first. Which means, do we want to take the extra couple of 100 damage from the Ice Wing? Or do we kill these guys first? But if we kill these guys first, they're all dealing damage. That's going to be 5 additional hits. And once you start adding these up, you start to see, well, hang on, 5 additional hits from them, an extra additional hit here. You got 2 extra hits here, you got 2 extra hits here. Suddenly you've gone, 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 10. And we needed to actually get the attack, and we haven't got all the attack yet, sorry, because we've only picked up this one. So we needed to find another attack somewhere. That Solus is hitting us twice. We get hit twice more going this route. We can't really make it below 12. Yeah, we get hit 6 times going that route. We can't make it below 12 hits to collect that stuff. So that tells us that actually we do just want to go for the boss now. That was quite a long-winded decision, but we just aren't going to be able to collect enough attack without taking less than 12 hits against this boss. If we took only 11, we'd only save 10 HP, so that means that it is time to kill him now. And this gives us the 4 attack we needed for the Ice Wings anyway, as well as all the health that we were going to need. This big roach is never going to get cheaper, so let's just kill him now. We definitely want to go this way as well. So we can just kill these and gain this health. We've got plenty of keys. We do need to start thinking about stockading a lot of health for going down this Ice Wing path, so we can ignore all these for now. Grey Man, potentially he could get cheaper and there's no attack along this path. The Ice Wing at 23 more attack. It is not possible to make these guys cheaper. You know what, I'm going to open this and get this health. Yeah, it's not possible to make these guys cheaper without at least collecting this cash, because they will get cheaper when there's only 5 attack left on the level and there is 6 behind the Icewing Gauntlet, so they are not going to reduce. Similarly, these Soulless, they will reduce when there is only, I believe, 3 more attack gems on the level. Yes, because that brings us to 40 and there's 147 attack to pick up. So this guy will only be cheaper if we left him until there was only this stuff to get. However, one of them is stuck behind this brained Soulless, which we definitely want to make cheaper. So we're just going to go ahead and kill that other Soulless, I think. Which leaves us with this room before we go down the Soulless path. And it is looking like we just want to go ahead and do this. Could we make this Grey Man cheaper? 16 more attack. How much is that? That is 135. 135 is everything except for 6 of the attack gems. 3 of them are here. Some of the others are behind these yellow babies. Gives us another 3. These guys do quite a lot of damage and could be made cheaper soon. So is it realistic to expect that we could actually make that grey man cheaper before wanting to take that central path? Well, we know we're not going to get this before we take the central path, and therefore we're probably not going to get this either. So how much more attack is there really in the level after that that's not also behind grey men? And there's at least 3 other attack gems behind grey man, so it seems very unlikely. There is just a lot of attack behind these guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to kill all of these monsters. As you know, I've always done the math on these decisions before I record, so if you feel like I haven't explained it properly, do let me know. But I have actually crunched the numbers or tried the alternatives, and it is better to kill him now, because you remember we don't want to kill the brain first. The alternative is that we killed this guy brained, but we were taking an extra 360 damage, and the grey man, when brained, was dealing 260, and he was never going to go free on this level. So how much were we really saving by leaving them brained and coming back later? We weren't saving enough. None of the other monsters were going to get cheaper. We were going to save like 215, I think it is, off of that guy if we waited later with the brain still available, and we lose more than that from the ice wing. So there we go. I did explain it in the end after all. These guys are not cheaper and they've got health behind them, so you know what? I'm just going to pick that up now. I'm going to take this. So I'm going to take these health traits because we don't need the keys anymore. And the health is useful for now. If it ever turned out that actually in some future score point we wanted the keys instead of the health, like maybe there was a more efficient trade, I would come back and redo those, but just for the sake of convenience, because it's exactly score neutral, I'm just going to open them now. I'm just going to do a quick check around just to make sure I've done everything okay. I have not, because I actually need to kill this guy, who's as cheap as he's ever going to be, before going down this central path, which is, I've determined, is as cheap as it's going to get. This is the only alternative, and this is a similar decision to last time, which is, do we want to leave this brained grey man for later and take damage from the brained ice wing? Well, if we kill this, we are losing access to 400 health. However, we also leave these guys brained as well to get to that health. Now they deal per attack 130. If they were unbrained, it would be 45. So we're still going to be taking an extra 85 damage from them, which is 85, 170, about 250 extra damage, just to reach this 400 health. So this health is only really worth about 150. Similarly, we save 360 from unbraining this guy. So in the end, if we do kill the brain, we're giving up 150 health essentially. We are saving 360, which is a difference of about 200, but the grey man, he's not going to save us enough if we killed him now, and the reason for that is because we are actually going to need some of this attack to reach as the next attack checkpoint. So we really want this to make them cheaper. We're not really going to achieve it, so in the end it does become cheaper to actually kill the grey man, lock our access to this health, and basically save damage against this guy. And that were all of the decisions. Yes, it was. So I was just checking the central path. that we need to make before we take it to get all of that sweet attack. So that's what we're going to do now. This guy isn't going to be cheaper, and neither are these guys. So let's just go down this long path now. And there we have it. That's another 6 attack. So there is only 10 gems left on the level at this point. We're getting very close to being able to kill the Mad Eye for free. Sort of getting close now to these guys. This yellow baby, if we can get 3 more gems, we save 140 from him. What gems do we want next? Well, this one here is quite a ways off. Similarly, the one down here is quite a ways off. What else do we even have? This guy could be made cheaper, but there's no attack, and there's no attack. It's looking like we have 3 attack gems behind yellow babies. We've got 1 behind this ice wing, who could potentially be cheaper. And then we've got these 3 here. Yes, there was... Hang on. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 attack gems. So 2 more attack gems to make the Freeze Eye cheaper, 2 more attack gems to make the Mad Eyes cheaper, 3 more attack gems to make the Yellow Baby cheaper, quite a lot to make the Ice Wing cheaper. We really need to start making a decision here, which monsters do we want to take damage from? It looks like we want to collect at least 2 gems from somewhere. We definitely don't want to pick this one up before this one, because that pressure plate locks this one. So this Freeze Eye, can we get like 2 more attack before we take this guy on? Well, the thing with these is that even if we hit the next attack checkpoint for the Mad Eye, it's getting hit twice versus getting hit once, because we can come in and then stab one of these guys for free from behind. If we wait on these guys, then we are saving like 55 health, and that's it. So we can get one of the 2 gems that we need to make these guys cheaper if we went for that one. In terms of the Ice Wing, are we going to make this guy cheaper? Well, we need most of the attack in order to achieve that. It may not even be possible. It does seem somewhat unlikely, so he could be another good candidate. That gets us 2 attack gems. That makes the Freeze Eye cheaper, and that gets us 3, and that would then give us enough to save damage on this Yellow Baby. So that seems like a pretty good goal to take. The Yellow Baby saves us 140. If we waited on this guy, that's 120. If we wait on this guy, that's 55. So you may think to yourself, well, okay, the 120 plus the 55, that is more than the 140 that we save from the Yellow Baby. So it's all really down to, are we going to be able to save health on the Ice Wing? Well, what stat gems do we think we won't be collecting? We certainly... we may not be collecting these ones behind these 2 guys, because they need 13 attack for faster win. Sorry, let me rephrase this. You need 140 attack to make these guys cheaper. We need 142 to make these guys cheaper out of 147. As you can see, this level is very complicated, and by trying to restate which ones that we go for, next. I'm definitely just double checking this stuff as I do it, just in case, of course. Make sure there are no logical holes. What's going to happen, I can tell you now, is that there's actually another attack checkpoint for the yellow baby. So there's another 140 to save if we make this gem the last one that we collect. Now, the only problem with that is that means that the ones behind the soulless and the one behind the yellow baby would be left as the last 3 to collect. And that means that that's not enough gems left over to make this guy cheaper. And what we save, 120 from the Ice Wing, both the soulless, which is 140, and the yellow baby, which is 140, allows us to save a little bit more. So actually, the Ice Wing isn't going to get cheaper. Like, we're not going to get the opportunity to kill this guy for cheaper. So that means that picking up this attack and the ones behind the Mad Eyes allows us, it's only going to cost us 55 health in the end, which comes from getting hit twice there instead of once. Let's just double check that that was okay. That was correct. Yes, 2 hits. Sorry. So with that, this Freeze Eye, we are not going to be getting 16 more attack, because that is all of the attack that is left, including this one and this one that this guy is blocking. So we are just going to go ahead and kill this guy. That's as cheap as he will ever be. Grey Man needs some extra attack to be cheaper. But this yellow baby with 12 attack, like, we have to take him on now. So that's what we're going to do. And so that gives us all of these stats here. That means that the grey men have now been reduced to their minimum damage, which is 45. So we're going to go ahead and kill them. I can kill this guy for free, because why not? Similarly, this man here can now have his stats collected. We're at 141, and we've talked about it enough, but 141 is the attack checkpoint for the soulless. So we're going to kill them. And I do believe all of the monsters in this room, yes, they are all now at the cheapest they're going to be. And we know we don't want to kill the brain, so we're just going to go ahead, collect this stuff. He hurts, but it's better than giving up on the attack. He is as cheap as he's ever going to be, so we might as well pick that up now. We can still save health on the Freeze Eye if we wait, so we actually don't want to kill the eye just yet. We do want to get the last attack gem, which, let's do that now, is this yellow baby we've just reached his final attack checkpoint. It is cheaper to kill the yellow baby than it is to kill this Freeze Eye and open the green door. The green door is worth like 800 and he cost 840, but of course there's the Freeze Eye on top of that. Either way we go here, we're essentially doing the same thing, so we'll just take that route. Now the Freeze Eyes everything is down to minimum. We've hit all of the stats. They deal 390 damage, and this one is sitting on a key which is worth 400 health, so it's 10 HP better equivalent if we pick that up. Similarly for that one, he also gets his 400 health potion. What's left on the map where we're never going to pick that up? And there is this final Ice Wing who is profitable to collect. So with that is everything on the level, and that allows us to leave. with a final score of 1,202, which is my best score. Funnily enough, the reason why I spent so long on the decision on justifying getting these before killing the yellow baby is because my actual best score used to be 1,200, and I killed the yellow baby before getting those to try and make the Mad Eye cheaper. But of course, I also knew that this guy wasn't any cheaper, and I realised just now while recording the video that actually it is worse to do that. So there you go, some ad hoc improvisation to get a new score that was better than the one that I had on the leaderboard. So yeah, there you go, brand new record. That is my current best score for this score point. So quite a long video, this one. I think this is actually my longest video so far. But I think that was really interesting. There was a lot going on. I actually am going to double check that this was the correct decision as well, off camera, and I guess this is the only other thing that I was left in slight doubt while recording. I'll mention it in the description of the video if it's actually better to have killed this guy while brained and come back later. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think it is, but I will just double check. So do keep an eye on that and take a look below to see if that was the case or not. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that. Next time, I guess we might as well keep going through Great Place, optimising it. The next score point, probably not quite so interesting, but we'll do it anyway, and we'll just keep going. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.